From a young age, I didn't like swimming at all. I just didn't like it. I preferred other sports. And then when I went to secondary school, it was one of our compulsory lessons to do swimming, so they pushed me into that.
Bethany Firth was just 16 years old when she won a Paralympic gold medal at London 2012 for Ireland. An early fear of the water meant that she took up the sport late, and she'd only been swimming competitively for 2 years prior to her victory at the Paralympics. She competes in the S14 class for swimmers with learning difficulties.
My disability is that I have a short-term memory, so I can remember things for about a day and then it will all like vanish, and then I can't. Certain things I can remember, but it's not even if I choose to remember, it's just if I will remember it or not. So I could wake up and someone could tell me something and the next day I won't remember what's happened, or I won't understand. It's quite frustrating when people come up to you and they tell you stuff and I don't know what they're talking about because I can't remember it.
London 2012 was the first time since the Sydney 2000 Paralympics that athletes with an intellectual disability were allowed to compete at the Games. The absence had been due to the scandal surrounding the Spanish Paralympic basketball team, who knowingly fielded athletes who did not have an intellectual disability in Sydney. The International Paralympic Committee subsequently banned the participation of all ID athletes until a more rigorous testing system was in place. It was a decision which unfairly punished those who genuinely suffered from intellectual disability, and to this day there's still much to be learned about ID athletes.
I didn't learn the alphabet or the days of the week until I was going into secondary still. I physically couldn't remember it. I couldn't spell my name and stuff. I really struggled, and people can understand it because they have never seen it before. It's different.
Bethany spends 16 hours a week training in the pool at the local leisure centre here in Newtonards, Northern Ireland. A quiet commuter town close to Belfast, Newtonards briefly became a focal point during the Troubles in 1993, when a car bomb destroyed a bar in the town centre. Nelson Lindsay is Bethany's coach and something of a father figure to her. He volunteers his time without pay and has trained Bethany since the end of 2010. When the duo first began working together, Bethany had no competitive swimming experience.
It's very much a situation that I've never experienced before, because usually when swimmers come up to me, they've learned to swim at maybe typically 6 or 7. They've maybe swum their first race at about 8 or 9 years of age. And here was this girl who was 14, 15, something like that, and had only just started swimming.
When Bethany first arrived at the club, she had problems keeping count of the lengths when swimming 200 and 400 metres. Nelson quickly worked out that visual indications were more helpful to her than verbal instructions.
She tends to find her own way around the problems posed by her disability, and she's very resourceful like that and very determined. So really pleased with her. You know, it's quite a privilege to work with her. So as far as, she still has a bit of a problem with pacing her swims, and that's held her 200 times back. But she's starting to make progress in that aspect as well.
6 months prior to London 2012, Bethany first had to contend with an ovarian cyst which ruptured during training, and then she picked up a shoulder injury which meant that she couldn't use her arms and was only allowed to kick in the water for the 6 months leading up to the Games. She had to see a physio 4 times a week and was not even sure that she'd be able to make it to London. However, harnessing the determination which has underpinned her rapid progress in the sport, Bethany arrived in the English capital and she stormed to gold in the 100 metres backstroke in a Paralympic record of 1 minute 8.93 seconds.
It's the most amazing feeling in the world. Like, words can describe. Like even my shoulder, I couldn't feel a thing. I was just so excited. It's so hard to explain. But then to see who else had won, I had made friends with the other two girls who came second and third, and it was just the most amazing experience I could ever imagine. And then standing on the podium with a gold medal around your neck is hard to say, but it was the most amazing thing I think I'll ever experience.
After glory in the 100 metres backstroke, Bethany wanted to go for gold in the 100 metres breaststroke and 200 freestyle. But she was stopped from doing so under doctor's orders, the risk of aggravating her shoulder injury even further.
I was surprised to see her win the gold medal. I thought that even with her shoulder injury she would get a medal. But it was just fantastic when she won the gold. Obviously, had she been fully fit, I would have been very confident, because the time she won her gold medal in was slower than her personal best time, which she'd swum earlier in the year. So obviously if she'd been fully fit she would have gone faster again. Had she been fully fit, I'm quite confident she would have won medals in the other two events as well.
In addition to her demanding training schedule, Bethany also finds the time to give back to her local community. She visits youth groups and schools, encouraging youngsters to follow their dreams. According to her mum, those visits are a testament to her daughter's character.
To me, that would be my proudest moments, when Bethany goes out and encourages youngsters for them just to do what they can do. Yes, I'm proud she got the gold medal. Yes, I'm proud she learnt to swim. But what she is doing for other children, I think that's the thing I'm proud of.
After claiming 3 silver medals at last year's IPC World Championships, Bethany decided to make the switch from representing Ireland to Great Britain. There is still much to be learned about the S14 disability, and this contributed to the change.
Well, for Bethany, it's very important having people that understand her and to work with her. She had got to know the GB people when she was away at races. She'd got to know quite a few of them, and they seem to understand S14s very well.
Well, they have lots more variety of people who have the same disability as me, and I've known them from competing against them, and I've just known that the GB team have always been encouraging to me, even though that I didn't swim, I swam for Ireland before I swam for them.
So impressive are Bethany's times that she now competes against able-bodied swimmers and has an outside chance of making the Northern Ireland team for this year's Commonwealth Games. Looking further ahead, the 18-year-old is already thinking about Rio 2016 and the opportunity to improve upon her medal tally from the London Games.
At the minute I'm swimming more mainstream than Paralympics. I'm hoping to go quite far in there. With Nelson's help it should go well. And then I'm looking bright at Rio. I'm hoping a lot of medals, that's what I'm going for.